What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Before we start, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't. Don't know what you're waiting for. We continue to drop content after content after content, so be a part of it. Like, comment, turn on those notifications. Everyone knows Texas A&M is struggling. This isn't a news flash. There's even been talk of, how much longer does Jimbo Fisher have? Well, when you hear those things as a Sooner fan, there are some serious implications with what happens to some of those guys who have committed to the University of Texas A&M. Specifically, two guys we'll talk about, Don McKinley and Terry Bussey, Brody.
Yeah, it's obviously pure speculation, but the Terry Bussey stuff I think is a little bit more than. I mean, he visited LSU last weekend, so that should tell you he's not 100% locked in with Texas A&M if he's going around and taking visits to LSU. Now, it's been speculated by many that it does seem like the wheels are falling off right now for Texas A&M, and maybe Jimbo, he's on the hot seat, and it seems like maybe the NIL deals they can't pay what they had previously said they're going to pay. It does seem like they're really having to put out some fires behind the scenes in order to keep some of these guys committed. And Terry Bussey, in my opinion, I speculate that he's one of them. Bussey, he took a visit to LSU. Now, if he decommits from Texas A&M, which is speculation, but if that were to happen, Oklahoma, they'd be right in there. And obviously, they'd probably be behind LSU just because he has visited LSU. But Emmett Jones, he's been legit, and you never know what he can do in that situation. But when you see what's going on at Texas A&M, they have not had a good season. Jimbo hasn't had a good tenure there. It hasn't been good at all. Maybe people are starting to realize that's not a place they want to go. And maybe that really can benefit because we're talking about 2 5-stars here. So if Oklahoma can make something happen, and Don McKinley and Terry Bussey, that's 2 guys Oklahoma would go to battle with LSU for if Texas A&M were to lose those commitments, which, if you ask me right now, I think it's quite likely that Terry Bussey decommits from Texas A&M, and I would not be shocked if Don McKinley were to decommit from Texas A&M too.
I would not be shocked if one of the two for sure do. 2 out of 2 would be very interesting. And like you said, Brody, this isn't these aren't 2 guys that OU is going to go try to swoop in on. They've been in on them. They've been in on both of these guys to the final straw before they committed. Don McKinley, I think, also was looking at Texas. Is that correct?
Yes. LSU and Texas would be the 2 primary competitions there, but
Yeah.
for Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, again, viewers, this is speculation, but it's also, people may say, well, why are you doing a video if it's speculation? It's worth noting because this is something that very well could happen. So much so, we know it's a possibility because, like you said, Bussey did take a visit to LSU. So, and Emmett Jones was in Bussey's ear, and we know the relationship was a good one. We know that McKinley's relationship with staff was a good one, that it was really, I guess you could say, tooth and nail to the end on McKinley. So, yeah, what happens is to be, I guess, said, and it's got to be waited to see what happens. But we do know that if there is decommitment, that OU will be on the doorstep immediately for these guys. Because like you said, they are 5-star elite talent guys.
Yeah, and maybe LSU would be the front runner for Terry Bussey. But if Terry Bussey decommits, that might give Emmett Jones all the ammo that Emmett Jones needs to hey, let's get Terry Bussey on campus and let's make something happen, right? In Texas A&M, their next game is against South Carolina, right? If you lose to South Carolina at home, that might be the final straw. That'd be a terrible loss. I mean, they have opportunities for some more just awful losses on their schedule remaining, and I don't see it with Jimbo Fisher. I think in the buyouts what makes it interesting there. But even if Jimbo doesn't get fired, there could very well still be a mass exodus down in College Station, and it would not shock me if Bussey and McKinley were to leave there. With McKinley, he's from Louisiana. Maybe it's a decommit and go back home type of thing. But Then again, Oklahoma also has Todd Bates, who you never know what you can make happen there. And with a strong NIL package for both of those guys, and the way Oklahoma's playing right now, I think, if Oklahoma can keep winning, maybe go to the college football playoff, that's certainly not going to hurt anything, right? So it could really get interesting down in this winter. I think this is not something that you're going to expect they'll flip and commit just like that. This is something that will drag out probably until December or early December at least.
Yeah, you said it exactly right. That McKinley, Louisiana guy. It was kind of shocking. Not many of those 5-star D linemen get out of the state of Louisiana. He committed to A&M. It was kind of a shock, maybe to some, because people thought he might stay there in Louisiana. But obviously, he committed somewhere that wasn't his home. So the possibility of him going elsewhere is there. And I don't want to bring up too much the portal, but there are some guys also at A&M that OU was heavily in on that ended up going there that you never know what's going to happen and what's going to be the, I guess, consequences and the fallout of if something were to happen with Jimbo Fisher. It's not good there, that we know. Things aren't good in College Station. That is a proven fact that we know. And what happens and what comes of it will be very interesting. But we do know that OU will have guys in place if there are some decommitments in those two guys for sure.
Yeah, the portal also, with the way Oklahoma is recruited, they've had some very close losses, but they'd probably be the automatic leader if certain guys were to jump into the portal in defensive linemen. But with McKinley and Bussey, is it something you can count on happening? No, but I would expect Oklahoma gets one flip at minimum before early signing day. Don't know who that will be, but I think at least Bussey and McKinley, maybe both of them won't decommit, but Bussey's already doing it. I speculate that McKinley might do it as well. He might just kind of start feeling out the waters, testing the waters. I mean, why? You can see where it happens. I mean, Oklahoma seems to be really on the up and up, and Texas A&M seems to be on the downhill slide, and LSU kind of seems to be downhill as well. So if I was an Oklahoma fan, I'd be rooting against Texas A&M. I'd be rooting against LSU.
Yeah, and you're right again. This is you're guessing one on the flip side, and I could very well see one. There's also a couple guys that are not A&M guys that we've also mentioned in possible flip mode with guys like Williams, Winery, and Bryant West Coast. So, yeah, there's just a little speculation video out for you guys, a little tease. Make sure you are subscribed to the Sooner Surge as we will continue to drop content after content in regards to all Sooner sports. So, yeah, turn on those notifications so you'll be notified when we drop another one. Yeah, let's root against those Aggies and those Tigers, guys. Till next time. Boomer.